Hey YouTube, it is your girl Shalise Speaks. I was coming on here to give you guys my 6-week post-op update for my vaginal hysterectomy. So let's just kind of go ahead and get into it. I think my last update was week 3. So from then to now, the spotting actually stopped at week 3. Very interesting fact is that because I do still have an ovary, so I have an ovary and a fallopian tube on the right side. The left ovary and fallopian tube are removed because I had a hemorrhaging cyst on my left ovary that would not stop bleeding. And they also took out the uterus and the cervix. So because I do still have an ovary, I still have all my hormones, including being in the mood when you're ovulating. Even though there's nothing there to hold a baby, your body still ovulates. Also, menstrual type pains. And you're probably like, what? So listen, I am one of those people who will sometimes have sore breast when my cycle comes. And like it might start maybe a couple of days before and lead into about 3 days or so into the cycle, where like literally my boobs hurt, like you don't want to touch them. I'm somebody who sleeps on my stomach, and I can't lay on my stomach at that time because you're laying on your boobs and it just flat out hurts. So even though I had a partial hysterectomy and majority of everything removed, I still had issues with that as well this month, which I thought was hilarious. So I guess that's going to be my new normal, basically. What did the lady at work say? Because she had a hysterectomy, well, a partial years ago. And so she said that her husband basically told the doctor, so basically, I'm just not going to have a warning when she's firing off. So that's pretty much how it is. So you're still going to have all of the hormonal changes that you would normally have with the menstruation cycle, except for you won't have the cramping itself. But like, yeah, any other type of hormones that could be generated through you having ovaries, you'll still have. But other than that, it's actually been pretty much smooth sailing. Everything down below works. I've seen some stuff where people are trying to say that they could not achieve an O and all of that type of stuff. All that stuff works just fine. So yeah, I can honestly say overall it's been a fairly simple process. Obviously, first couple of days after surgery are always a little bit rough because it's the first couple of days after surgery. I would compare the pain in the beginning to a bad menstrual cycle, just without all of the blood. There was like spotting on and off. Excuse me. I believe that my spotting got heavier when I had an internal stitch fall out. Like, I literally saw it as I wiped. It was like some extra paper that was not the toilet paper. So it was pretty clear. You could tell it was an internal stitch. So it fell out, which caused a little bit of heavier spotting to where it was on the pad itself. But still, it was never, even with the spotting that touched the pad, it was still never like a whole day of having an actual period itself. So it was just like spotting on and off. It got a little bit heavier when that stitch fell out, and it was heavy with that stitch, I want to say about 3 or 4 days. And then after that, it stopped because I hit week 3, and no more spotting ever since then, and everything has healed up, and that's just what it is. So I don't want to hold you all very long. If you all would like to see a video in 6 months to a year, please just comment down below. Right now it is July. I just did my timesheet today at work. July 27th of 2021. So if you would like to see an update 6 months to a year from now, and it's past, what is it? So between January of 2022 and July of 2022. If you would like to see an update, please just comment down below. I do try to respond to all comments and answer all questions on any of my videos that I get. I try to be very responsive just because people typically are not asking a question if they don't want the answer. Makes sense to me, but so yeah, I hope that this thread of videos has been helpful. If you are considering a vaginal hysterectomy, which is considered to be a minimally invasive surgery, I would highly recommend it. Honest to God, I think I felt worse when I had my thyroid out than I did from this one overall. This one was just more difficult because I could not move my head. The abdominal cramping, I promise you, for me at least, I don't know about anybody else's, but for me, the abdominal cramping and just kind of the pain of all of that was more like just a really bad cycle. I will also say I have noticed that I am not bloated anymore. That has been amazing. I used to be bloated all the time and I would just always feel really heavy. Oh, one more other thing I forgot to tell you guys. So probably about a year and a half ago, I started experiencing shortness of breath, a whole lot of it, and I didn't know what the heck was wrong with me. And I think that's around the time that I really started to notice changes with like my menstrual cycle and things of that nature, which eventually led to this partial hysterectomy. But I was having shortness of breath issues. About 2 weeks out from me having this hysterectomy, my breathing went back to normal. I have not had shortness of breath since. If you all watched the video where I went over the lab findings, my uterus was 2 to 3 times bigger than the normal uterus. They originally only saw one tumor and they said it was actually full of tumors as well as the adenomyosis, so it was just going through a whole lot down there. And so having that removed has actually given me back my breath, because I was struggling for real with shortness of breath. I just wasn't trying to really worry anybody, but I was like really worried about it. But since I've had this procedure, no issues, because like I would have issues with that probably 3-4 times out the week, just shortness of breath. And if you think about it, even though the uterus is not very heavy, for that cavity of space to have something that is 2 to 3 times larger than what it should be, it still puts pressure down there, which was causing all the bloating and just all of that. So like my mobility has been way better, and it was never necessarily bad per se, but at times it was a little difficult, and it has not been at all. I am a larger woman, full disclaimer. However, I've always been chunky, like literally my entire life. So for me, movements that some people might be like, oh, that's agile, that's just what I do every day. I move like everybody else. I just got more weight on me, okay? So that is that. Wanted to make sure I threw that out there. So some people do end up having like shortness of breath, abdominal issues, mobility issues, because people do not realize all of that weight and pressure in the abdomen can really affect you. So with that being said, let me go ahead and wrap this up, because this is getting longer than what I thought it was going to be. But I want to say thank you all for watching. And no, this is not a black eye. It is just dry skin, and this light is not hitting me right. But thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I will graciously answer them to the best of my ability. And if I can't, I will honestly tell you, I don't know. But thank you for watching. Again, if you would like to update in July of next year, which would, well, June of next year would technically be a full year, or January will be 6 months from my 6 weeks. So just let me know. Thanks for watching again. Bye.